Hi, everyone. I'm Christina Goudy, CEO of Reach Orthopaedics, and we are developing a durable shoulder implant for the use of massive, irreparable rotator cuff tears. Now, we're focused on the middle-aged demographic, those who no longer benefit from soft tissue treatment and are far too young to receive a reverse shoulder. We were specifically designed by shoulder surgeons to improve shoulder balance and reduce chronic pain. We have FDA breakthrough device designation that was awarded in 2023. We're currently raising a seed round of $3 million. When I'm talking about massive rotator cuff tears, those are defined as anything that's greater than 5 centimeters in size or involves 2 or more of the rotator cuff tendons. And it's estimated that almost 10% of the population over the age of 50 has a massive cuff tear. Most symptomatic individuals are typically in labor-intensive occupations. So think about your trades, nurses, warehouse employees, and they actually often retire 2 to 8 years earlier than their peers due to chronic pain and disability. So this actually represents, based on the prevalence, a potential US market alone of $2.6 billion. But we know that the market is not there whatsoever at this point, and that's because there is no standard of care for the middle-aged demographic. Reverse shoulder is incredibly invasive and requires the actual removal of the shoulder joint itself. You have soft tissue repairs such as superior capsular reconstruction or SCR. These have really high incomplete healing and re-tear rates, again, specifically in this middle-aged patient population. And then the balloon spacer that was acquired by Stryker in 2019, this reabsorbs and also has the potential to migrate, which suggests that follow-up treatment is required. Now, our device is a titanium monoblock design. It consists of a subacromial spacer plate and has a novel scapular fixation arm. It requires a deltoid split approach. And so this is minimally invasive, and it's accessible to both upper extremity surgeons and your general community orthopedic surgeon alike. And what's most important is that it doesn't require any extensive bone removal whatsoever, and the interior of the shoulder remains intact, which allows for future revision if needed. Obviously, this is ideal for middle-aged patients. So again, we are durable with a minimally invasive and accessible surgical approach. Our time in OR is expected to be approximately an hour, and we estimate that recovery will be about 8 weeks. We had a comparative study which considered the Reach subacromial spacer plate, SCR, and the balloon spacer. This study showed that all restored the humeral head position relatively similarly, but what we need to remember here is that the Reach subacromial spacer plate does not require extensive soft tissue healing, nor does it resorb or have the potential to migrate. This comparison study also looked at functional abduction force. And as you can see from my graph here, the Reach implant is actually the only device that actually improved upon functional abduction force relative to a massive irreparable tear model. We also wanted to consider destructive properties where we are fixating to the scapular spine. And what we found is that not only were there no catastrophic failures in our testing, but also the Reach subacromial spacer plate actually protects against acromial stress fractures. We presented these studies to key opinion leaders who are absolute leaders in the field of shoulder orthopedics. They all agreed that the Reach subacromial spacer plate is a promising and innovative, durable solution for middle-aged patients with massive irreparable rotator cuff tears. Now, our team has over 100 years of combined experience and have dedicated their careers to treating upper limb maladies. Dr. Johnson has actually helped to develop 20 devices that have made it to market, and Dr. Athwal is considered one of the top shoulder surgeons in North America. Our patent is approved, and it's quite robust. It includes 20 claims on it, and it's approved US, Canada, and Europe. In terms of our studies, we intend to start a 30 to 40 patient clinical feasibility study within 8 to 12 months of closing our seed round. And because we have that FDA breakthrough device designation, our plan is to overlap the feasibility study with that pivotal study, which is obviously needed for reimbursement purposes. Now, on the reimbursement side, we do need to do a little bit more work, but our early research suggests that existing codes may be leveraged to support payment. But we do want to do a more comprehensive assessment to better understand coverage, coding, and that market access. Our goal is to grow revenue to support an exit through acquisition. Now, we've used superior capsular reconstruction as our model for our projections. At 10 years of time, SCR was being used by approximately a quarter of all upper extremity surgeons in the US actively in their practice prior to it falling out of favor. So while we've used them as our sort of guideline for what our projections are, we haven't included what sort of adoption rates we will receive from that general community orthopedic surgeon or from sports medicine surgeons. Now, as I mentioned, we are raising a seed round for $3 million. This will help us for fund our manufacturing, our clinical feasibility study, operations, and necessary regulatory filings. I have very few time slots still available. So if anyone wants to meet here while LSI, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, I'm happy to meet offline. Thank you so much.